to your Geordie journos after Newcastle United's 1-0 win over AFC Wimbledon. A strange game to judge, largely uninspiring, I would say, but probably after a flat first half, Newcastle were, despite the scoreline 1-0, I would say was relatively comfortable, to be honest, bar probably the last minute when Wimbledon started putting balls in the box. But yeah, it was job done. I know a lot of you guys out there might be disappointed the way Newcastle performed. I think certainly for a lot of those players on the pitch trying to make an impression, they didn't quite do that. But ultimately the important thing is that Newcastle are in the next round. And yeah, we'll go over the game. Where do you want to start, Dom? Do you want to start with I suppose we just came out from the press room there speaking to Eddie Howe and Johnny Jackson, and Johnny Jackson was a bit miffed, shall we say, about the penalty decision.
Yeah, that was probably the takeaway from the press conference at least, and I suppose the game in a way, because that's ultimately what the game hinged on. That Fabian Schar penalty at the end of the first half ultimately sees Newcastle progress to the last 16. Was it a penalty? It was an interesting decision. No VAR tonight, obviously.
Yeah.
Darren Bond, the referee, and doesn't give anything, but then the linesman puts his flag up. Miguel Almiron goes down in the box. Fabian Schar goes down in the box. Both managers felt the challenge on Fabian Schar by Pigott was not a foul, but then Eddie Howe felt the one on Almiron was. And Johnny Jackson felt that Fabian Schar actually dived and it shouldn't have been a penalty because the referee should have cautioned Fabian Schar. So what did you think of it, Joe?
I thought it was a penalty. I thought the Almiron one was a clear penalty. I didn't really see a problem with it. I was surprised until I heard Johnny Jackson speaking about it. I get his frustrations because ultimately you come into the home of a Premier League club, you're already up against it, you're the underdogs, and realistically you don't want to be losing to a penalty. But as I say, I thought the decision was fair. I actually want to give the linesman credit because the referee didn't give it, and linesmen are often maybe told by referees to keep your flag down, but maybe there was a collaboration between all three officials today. And Darren Bond trusted his assistant on that far side, and I thought it was a fair decision. But I think it's probably a frustration for Johnny Jackson because he probably didn't feel like his side deserved to lose. They probably didn't deserve to lose, but I don't think they've particularly done a lot to win the game.
It's just Craig Hope not realising we're hiding out of the wind and the lawnmowers and everything, trying to get some sound. So yeah, he nearly just made his Geordie Journo's debut.
The clash of the YouTubers.
I know.
Late at night it seems just about to get these videos done, but yeah.
So speaking of debuts, Will Osula, straight in the side tonight. So yeah, how did you think he fared? Because I think it was a bit of a tale of two halves for Will Osula. Yeah. Okay, he didn't get on the score sheet, but you were saying almost throughout the second half, a lot to like about him.
I really liked him. Yeah. First off, I thought he was starved of service. Didn't get into the game, and I think actually you made a really good point. But it seemed like it was quite an Alexander Isak performance of this season when he didn't really get a touch. No. He obviously got played through by Almiron in the sort of first couple of minutes and just couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet. Then had a shot that was saved. I think no, it wasn't saved. He missed. Got played through. He missed. And then the second half, I thought he was a lot more involved. You could see, I think there was a sense of determination about him to try and get involved. Yeah. I think he tried to take it upon himself to actually get involved in the game. There was a moment after he'd hit a shot in the side netting where he's chasing down every Wimbledon man for the ball back. So I really liked him. Yeah, I thought playing on the shoulder, quick, really tall lad. A lot of attributes to like. You can see why Newcastle United have almost invested the money in him. If they can get him right, if they can get him to reach his potential, then they have got a very good player on their hands with very good attributes. Because a striker who is tall and pacey do tend to cost a lot of money. I'm thinking about Isaacs, who's tall, pacey, Haaland, who's obviously the best striker on the planet. So I can see why Newcastle have signed him. And look, he's very raw still. I do think he's got a lot to learn still. But as I say, from the flashes I've seen, I was really impressed. And if they can get his attributes to full potential, I think they've got a good player on their hands. But I think there's a long way to go still before we see Will Osula Premier League action, but that was a good run out for him tonight against League 2 opposition. And yeah, quiet first half, but I thought he's much more involved in the second.
Yeah, I think that run down the right sort of showed what he's all about. He's barging players out the way, showing good strength, good pace, just that sort of technical nous, and maybe the bit like mentally as well, where to position himself, when to come, when to go, things like that you hopefully learn in time, and that's what Newcastle working on the training ground with him at the moment. And Eddie Howe said, yep, still got a lot to learn, and he's probably still some way short of being a Premier League regular for Newcastle United,
absolutely.
let's say. So, I thought it was encouraging for him, but you also have to take into account the opposition as well. And I think Newcastle generally tonight, it was cup game, job done. Eddie Howe actually made a good point. He sort of compared it to the Tranmere game where Newcastle, a couple years ago, when they ended up reaching the Carabao Cup final, were in a difficult position against Tranmere, who lower league side. They actually went ahead in the game. Newcastle managed to get back into it and turn it round. And the Wimbledon didn't put up much of a fight. They defended very well.
Yeah.
Didn't really ask any questions to Martin Dubravka, and then Odysseus Vlachodimos in the second half. They had a couple of set pieces, a couple of throw-ins laid on where you went, ooh, if it bounced in the right way, they could have fell to them and they could have got something. But yeah, all in all, it was a easy night, comfortable night, I should say, for Newcastle United, who definitely weren't at their best, but job done. We're a man down tonight. Liam Kennedy was sat in the East Stand, I'm sure.
Close to the East Stand, yeah. Give him a wave before kick-off as he rang us the wave across in the press box. I did manage to spot him in the end, but it was a struggle at first. But I don't know if Liam would have enjoyed it tonight.
No, he might have been falling asleep with some of his colleagues, his fans over that far corner, because it was It was a really. It wasn't a spectacle.
It was uninspiring.
A forgettable game, Eddie Howe.
It was a forgettable game, but for me, and there might be people out there who's frustrated because ultimately it's a below par performance, but I've got no frustration after that because Newcastle have ultimately put out it's a second string team, let's be honest. Players are still getting minutes, and if there's a frustration tonight, it's probably on those players have taken their opportunity, and that would be for the players to feel frustrated rather than supporters. Ultimately, Newcastle United have ended up in the next round of the Carabao Cup, and when they play Chelsea here in three or 4 weeks time,
end of the month,
it'll be a full strength with absolute no doubt. So that they've got themselves in the next round. That's all that matters. But I sort of players on that pitch tonight who I expected a little bit more from. I would say Lloyd Kelly in the first half at left back. I think Lewis Hall has got that left back spot nailed down. In
Came
my
on
opinion.
And did a good job, I thought.
Kelly was better after he moved back into the centre of defence. He looked a lot more comfortable. He actually probably looked like a centre half playing at left back in the first half. He got better in the second half, but he was afforded a lot of space in the first half to get forward. Really sloppy at times with the ball. There was times
heavy, wasn't he, with his passing?
Yeah, there was times when he was inviting a bomb on and he didn't. And then you probably got the sort of the two in midfield. Joe Linton obviously it was a pretty easy night for him. I don't think he broke
sort of went through the motions a little bit, didn't he? And he didn't have to really do much.
He didn't have to, but like your Sean Longstaff's Willock. Sean Longstaff I thought was okay. Got forward, made a couple of good runs forward into the box. Just put in probably a typical Sean Longstaff performance without threatening too much.
He had the first shot on target in the game, but other than that, it was just in and out the game from Sean Longstaff.
It was, and then you've got Joe Willock, who I thought was better in the second half, but in the first half really struggled to get involved. But we've seen the Joe Linton and Joe Willock link up for about 10 minutes of the second half. Looked lively at points, but Joe Willock had a shot cleared off the line, which was an incredible block by their defender. So he was better in the second half, but I wouldn't say he's particularly earned his place in the start 11.
No, I don't think it gave Eddie Howe much food for thought, really.
Yeah, and then Barnes replaced at half time. Planned substitution in that one after his efforts on Saturday against Manchester City. And the right forward, who am I thinking of? Miggy. I actually thought Miggy was alright tonight.
Eddie Howe said he was one of Newcastle's best players, or Newcastle's best player in a creative sense, which I would agree.
Yeah, I thought he was the most involved, probably the biggest threat without being too much of a threat in
He should have scored, or he should have at least hit the target when he gets played through in front of the Leazes and just wild shot on it. He couldn't get it completely under control, hit off his head. So yeah, but I thought playmaking wise, really good.
Yeah, so he was instinctive with his passing, but probably just lacked a bit of composure on the final third, as you mentioned there. The shot of the Leazes and he's played through and he puts it over the barn into the stand, hitting a fan behind the goal.
into the wings.
Into the wings. Oh, that's where it was. There was a time, it was 2 Fabian Schar balls, I think, which we'll probably talk about him actually quickly.
Yeah.
Fabian Schar pinged 2 balls over Almiron that first half. There was the first one when he just missed time his run. The second one as he shot the ball into the Gallagher. But Fabian Schar was probably the standout for me tonight.
Yeah, particularly in the first half where Newcastle lacked any real quality, I thought. Fabian Schar was that cool head at the back, never broke a sweat really, pinging balls all over, he was Newcastle's sort of quarterback, if you like, just pinging the balls long, setting things up, and then got his reward with a coolly converted penalty on the stroke of half time. Yeah, he was possibly...
Someone's still on the ground.
I know, probably can't see us, so this will be interesting. But yeah, but Stats lead, man.
He's still He's
he wants to get up. But yeah, Fabian Schar was probably my man of the match tonight, of a probably substandard evening for Newcastle United. I think he had a chance in the second half, hit it over. I noticed something that I said to you. I went, Fabian Schär's injured here and he's doing his nut. He's really frustrated with Newcastle's bench because he came over about 80 minutes, went to Eddie Howe, he went, I need to come off here. And then 5 more minutes and Fabian Schar keeps looking over at the bench. He's shaking his head, and then I think at one point he just turns and goes, I'm injured, basically. Like,
someone asked him, said, are you injured? He goes, yes! Yes. So it was like, right, and then it was Dan Burn warmed up, and it still took about 5 minutes to get Fabian Schar off the pitch.
Because Fabian Schar basically, he didn't switch off, if you like, but he was like, right.
He refused to run off that, didn't he?
There was balls were coming to him, and usually he'd try and take it forward. He was like, no, passing it straight back or spreading it out wide or whatever. So yeah, that was a frustrating one for him towards the end after a very good evening. And I asked Eddie, how did your squad come through that game all right? Obviously, Martin Dubravka went off at half time with an injury. That has been confirmed, but don't know how serious it is.
It was a knee injury for
him. But it is an injury. And then Eddie Howe said, no, I think everyone else is fine. But then Fabian Schar, ankle, muscular fatigue.
Yeah, well, I think he said when he came off, he said hammy. This is me lip reading, so I may be wrong here, but I was pretty sure he said that. But
Eddie Howe said ankle. So
he said ankle, and he said a couple of problems, a couple of issues, and it was ankle. And I don't know if he mentioned the hamstring, but Fabian Schar, if I'm a good lip reader, did say hammy. So
he felt his hamstring as well.
But you'd suspect he'd be all right, because Fabian Schar injury is like a standard thing. But as you see, he did show the frustration of wanting to come off. So fingers crossed he's
they seemed to kiss and make up at the end.
Yeah,
not literally, but I said, ooh, he might not spit his dummy out here, but he might be a bit frustrated.
He walked off the pitch with a really straight face.
Yeah, but then he just went, no worries. So yeah, that was pretty much the evening as it happened. Something that happened before the game, which I think sums up the night in total. The only positive thing to come from this entire fixture, really. We spoke to James Woodruff, the managing director of Wimbledon, because obviously this tie is only taking place at St James's Park because Plough Lane was just, decimated by water. Pitch completely, like a sinkhole emerged, completely unplayable. They've had to postpone a couple of their home games, hoping to get it back on the 12th against Carlisle. Over £120,000 has been raised to help the club. Newcastle have donated £15,000, and obviously Wimbledon will get 45% of the gate receipts tonight, and it was a near full house, so big bonus from them for them. And Wimbledon fans had a banner thanking Newcastle as well. So in what was a slightly frustrating, very underwhelming, very forgettable 90 minutes on the pitch. We saw the positive side of football, and the Wimbledon managing director certainly keen to convey that to us before the game.
Yeah, it was good to speak to him, wasn't it? It wasn't necessarily something I expected coming to the ground today, but it was nice that he made himself available to speak to the local media. Obviously, it was ourselves alongside Lee Ryder of the Chronicle and Dom Shaw as well of the Northern Echo. So yeah, he gave us about 10 minutes of his time before the game inside the press room just to answer questions.
Keen to get that message out.
Yeah, I mean, you could see how grateful he is, and sort of representing the club that Wimbledon were able to get the financial help from Newcastle United, and of course the football and community, which he was keen to stress about as well. So yeah, it was nice to speak to him, and I do hope that money goes towards helping Wimbledon, which I'm sure it will, because look, they've got I think the repairs are going to cost a lot of money. He didn't go into exact figures, but
he hinted that their insurance premiums are going to skyrocket now, and and I said to him, look, how do you stop this happening again? And
good question.
As he said, because they don't have the answers to that at the moment. So they need to sort more than just the pitch out. They need to make sure it doesn't happen again, and obviously from an insurance point of view, the excess they have to pay and things like that, it's going to cost them a lot of money, and it's not going to be a quick fix for Wimbledon, let's say, even though they're hopeful of playing again at Plough Lane next Saturday, or a week on Saturday I should say. So yeah, nice to speak to him. He also sort of had an invitation to Newcastle for a friendly next summer. Whether that will happen, I think we'll wait and see.
Yeah,
but,
I wouldn't mind that.
He'd certainly be keen, and Wimbledon would certainly be keen. But yeah, anyhow, likes either local lower league sides, or we'll go abroad and
halfway around the world.
Yeah, well, maybe not halfway around the world. That's what Newcastle will end up doing.
Yeah.
But, anyhow, if he had his way, nice trip to Germany.
I would like to go to Wimbledon, because I was robbed of that opportunity.
Robbed.
Because he has me complaining.
Poor us.
Yeah, no, I heard that. But I would like to go to Plough Lane at some point.
Yeah, we said that actually when the draw happened, but now it's ahead of Chelsea. So play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on the Sunday, and then 3 days later back here at St James's Park. And Chelsea knocked Newcastle out last season. Tough game.
Revenge.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, possibly. I think it's a good tie. Difficult one for probably both teams. Chelsea probably don't want to come here. Newcastle would have ideally liked on paper a easy opposition, if you can say that. But it's St James's Park. I'd back Newcastle against anyone. As we're seeing here against Manchester City, they've competed against the champions, and they haven't been great before that, but have still remained unbeaten here at St James's Park. So Chelsea's they'll not want to come here. And as I say, we're seeing a second string tonight, if you can call it that, rotation. I'd imagine Newcastle will be fully up to full strength for Chelsea. But what's it before that? Got Everton, international break. Brighton. Then there's a Chelsea.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then Chelsea 3 days later. So
all fun and games. But yeah, this weekend, trip to Merseyside, trip to Goodison Park, which we never look forward to. It's always dark and games, isn't it? It's a
5:30 kick-off as well. So I actually thought it was a 3 o'clock kick-off until I checked last night. That's when I texted you about how I'd travelled to get there. I was like, I didn't realise it was actually.
I don't think I've ever seen Goodison Park in the light.
No.
During a game.
No.
Because whenever we go, it's an evening kick-off. So yeah.
Thursday night, Tuesday night,
it's always
Saturday
cold.
night.
Yeah,
it's tight. It's a tight
we love it,
box.
but it's a horrible press box. But
it's the farewell though. It's a Goodison Park farewell.
Hopefully it's a positive one for Newcastle.
Hopefully they don't tend to get results at Goodison Park, but let's hope they sign off Goodison Park in style.
Yeah,
if we can say that in style.
But before that, we'll be at Eddie Howe's press conference back at the Newcastle United Media Centre on Friday. Liam Kennedy's currently away, so spell of videos without him, unfortunately.
Key Joe. I'm just being silly now.
So yeah, if you like what we do, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell for all your Geordie Journos content. And remember, if you haven't already, or even if you have, vote for us at the Football Content Awards as the club content producer of the year in the Premier League for 2024. So we'll put the link to that in the description. Another link that will be in the description is our lovely sponsors, Four Rivers Financial Planning, for all of your holistic financial needs. Please check them out. But I've been Dumsker. He's been Jordan Cronin. This has been Newcastle United 1-0 against Wimbledon. Thanks for watching.